Hello.
Oh,
Have-
yes.
It's delicious.
I got delicious. Oh, yes.
What's going on?
Man, not a whole heck of a lot. How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good.
That's what I wanted to hear.
So, what's up, everybody?
How are the good folks on this evening? Well, we hope.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I was getting into my review. Like I was just making Josh sit through I just got way into the pandemic special with South
Ooh,
Park, and
sorry.
I think one of my favorite things about uh, I haven't sat down and watched a season beginning to end in a really long time. I just see uh, episodes here and there, and I think I like the show even more doing that because when the fact that not Stan, Randy is pretty much the main character now. I'm just like that's exactly up my alley. So I dug it a ton. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Man, I haven't watched an episode of South Park in a long time, which is really um unfortunate because I love it when I watch it, but I'm with you. I do it like just every once in a while. It's kind of like comic books, man. It's like, oh, if an episode comes down the pike and I got to see it, people will talk about it. I'll hear about it.
Yeah, that's where I was with this one. I kept hearing about the special coming up and it being the uh, season, not season finale, but the kickoff of the season. I was like, well, why not? Why not check it out? And it's cool how they do throwbacks that I didn't see coming. I heard they're doing the special. It's going to be a pandemic episode, and I figured there'd be plenty of. Uh, I like the South Park take on a lot of stuff, whether it's political or not. I just like their perspective on a lot of things. So I was expecting that, but when they get into a throwback to, I believe it was last season when you had Randy and his trying to promote Integrity Farms going to China. I had completely forgotten that until you know you realize that's where they're going with it. It's like, oh man, he's he's patient zero for
Yeah,
coronavirus.
yeah, man.
It's like, and it's just one of those type of things that I'm like, man, that's just uh, I already liked it. Now I love it even more. So that was tons of fun. Just
Yeah,
to
man.
get to go back and kind of do the episode again, Back to the Future 2 style. And it's not that you even do that. It's just like it just reminded me of so much from that episode. It's like, oh man, that was a good one.
Yeah, man. It's like I've missed a lot. I saw a couple of the Integrity Farms episodes, and as much as I love Randy, I just got burnt out. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm done with this. But I do like him being patient zero. It was cool. I just think it's cool they're doing stuff again. Also, it's weird that you mentioned the political slant on South Park because I could be totally wrong. But the guys that created South Park to me seem, in a lot of ways, to be the anti Zuckerberg. And what I mean is, Zuckerberg made all the money in the world. Then political parties are really not even parties because people love to talk about, well, Zuckerberg's Republican. It's not the parties, it's the system. It's the established Republicans versus Democrats system. That's who loves his platform. So he made all the money in the world, then they decided they loved him, and he was like, sure, I'll take it. Where the South
Yeah.
Park guys, on the other hand, made all the money in the world and went the complete opposite way, where there really is no angle on it. They talk about it because they're alive and they breathe and they interact with people, and that's what politics actually is. But they don't really do a perspective, not one way or the other, and it's like it's just the complete opposite, where I think, and it sounds kind of stupid, but in my head anyway, there is a parallel there, and it's that Zuckerberg is nothing but political angle, and they're the complete opposite of that. It's
Mhm.
fascinating. It was
That's
weird. I saw this video on I've seen this before, but it was interesting, and maybe it ties in. It's the video on one of the videos on YouTube about like stand-up comics having like rivalries with each other.
yeah.
Excuse me, and it goes on Chappelle's little crybaby fit about Key and Peele, And the thing I think is cute about that is he's like, oh yeah, I made the Daily Show because I was their lead-in, and basically I am Comedy Central. And it's like, without those two guys in Colorado, there wouldn't have been no network to give you a dime for your show. So it's not you, it's those guys. But he didn't go after those guys. I guess my only issue is I'm not a Key and Peele guy either. And maybe that show did have more in common with his, but it seemed to me, Mind of Mencia is the one that it seemed to me, if you're going to be mad at somebody for ripping off your idea for the Chappelle Show and handing it off to a garbage stand-up comic, that's the one I'd have been mad about.
That was a lot closer in the timeline as far as taking over.
Yeah, it was literally the replacement. I'm like, dude, come on, man, that sucks, dude. It sucks. But also, the fact of the matter is, let's be honest, the Daily Show. So what?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you were going somewhere else. I was just like thinking Carlos got buried long ago.
Oh, sure, because everyone knows how useless he is.
Kind of like beating that dead horse, you know.
Sort of. I guess maybe that's it. And also, if I don't go after Key and Peele, then I don't have. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But interestingly enough, I'm Joe Rogan and he stole my jokes. On that video, there's another real good example of that. And I was like, I'm glad this came out. I'm glad people are talking about this. But for Pete's sake, I don't remember what I was going to say. Anyhow, but yeah, as far as people ripping shit off, Louis C.K. is on there talking about his stand-up bit about being an asshole and how magically a week later, Dennis Leary's on stage. He said during the set when he was talking about it'd be great to just know you were a prick and just all the things you get away with because, man, I'm a complete jerk. What does it matter? Of course I'm going to do that. And he says Leary goes on after him and is talking about, man, that's a great joke. I really like that joke. And then he starts making his own version of it. And then the song comes out. And I'm like, by God, because I think Leary's overrated as hell anyway. I always have thought so. So I'm like, yeah, go get him. Good job, Louis. Because it's like, dude, you talk about lifting stuff from people. Oh, my God. But anyway, that video is great. It's about, it starts with Andrew Dice Clay on Arsenio. And then frickin' Sam Kinison just absolutely fucking neutering him the next week. And it's like, ooh, that's pretty rough, man.
Yeah.
But the pinnacle is Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor. Because I think Chevy Chase is the biggest cocksucker on earth, man. And he's trying to go toe-to-toe with Pryor on Johnny Carson's show. And it's like, you see what a bad idea this is from word one. It's like, that's a mistake. Oh, Chevy, that's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about all those old school SNL guys, man. They're all like such pricks, man. I don't get it. I guess it's like old school wrestlers. They see what the kids make nowadays. It's like, it should have been me. Hi. Okay.
They paid his dues.
They paid his dues. Bill Burr's hell of a worker.
So that money you stole.
Dan Aykroyd, some of that money you stole.
Dan
Aykroyd's the Ricky Morton of SNL.
Oh, man, my other thing that I'm talking about South Park that I love it when I forget that in the South Park world, Mr. Garrison is Donald Trump.
Yeah,
it's not overdone. He shows up every now and again, but right about the time I'm just not expecting it, he shows up and he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember now." He's their Donald.
Yeah, they've been very interesting. They were interesting talking about that and how basically they had all these ideas and all this stuff, and you just do this actual lampoon of the notion of this person being president. Then he won, and it fucked them. It absolutely killed what they had in mind, and it was like, well, that sucks. So that was their whole thing, was like, well, now either we do weekly commentary on what Donald Trump's up to, or we go in a totally different direction. And they made a good decision to go in a different direction because it's like, oh my God, man. But I felt bad for him because even they.
We have no interest in doing That's My Bush again with a different guy.
Dude, even the super satire guys are all like, oh my God. Yeah, That's My Bush is fascinating. The fact that there is nothing like that for Donald Trump, in my opinion, tells you everything. Look, here, what I mean by tells you everything is this. I've had an awakening recently. Not an awakening, just an idea. As I said for the longest time, if you actually, my opinion on the DNC is if you actually are concerned about who's in the White House right now and you actually want to beat the guy, you get behind Bernie because Bernie would kill him. But then I got thinking about it. And Bernie might have won. He might have. Bernie would have been interesting because what you get with Bernie Sanders is a whole lot of people that would not vote otherwise going out to vote. And that's interesting. And it sounds like it would be clear cut, yes, this guy's going to win. But the X factor that nobody at the left, there really is no left in Washington, D.C. We don't have an opposition party. We don't have there's nothing here. There is the Democratic Party now is what Reagan used to be with the Republicans. And then the Republicans are basically the Fourth Reich. That's all we've got now. It's right and a little bit less right. That's it. But the point being that Bernie turning out new people to the polls, he might have won. But it's how many can you turn out? Because it would be amazing if you could get crossover on how many registered blue dog, I love you, Hillary Democrats would vote for Trump over Bernie Sanders. Because I'm here to tell you, I believe it'd be a bunch of them. A bunch of them. I truly believe that because the difference between a liberal and progressive is the obsession with the status quo, because liberals love the status quo. They like to talk a bunch of junk. They like to talk a bunch of crap about, oh, you can't overturn Roe. Oh, my God. It's the end of the world if you overturn Roe. You don't really care. It's just an excuse. Roe versus, I say it all the time, Roe and the Second Amendment are just excuses to not ever talk about anything that actually gets down to the pocketbooks of normal people. Because so long as we can legislate morality and emotional issues, we don't ever have to talk about dollars and cents. And that's the last thing. It's the one thing that this country learned from the aristocracy in the UK. The second poor people start talking about finance, you're done. So you never let them do it.
Yeah.
You never let them do it. That's the entire point, man.
Squash that mess.
Oh, dude, we don't talk about class is the dirtiest word you can use in politics in the United States. Period, point blank. You cannot discuss class in this country. It does not work. To the point that we took the working class, which was everybody's, Bruce Springsteen, Johnny Hero, and we killed them. We don't talk about that anymore. No, you don't talk about class, man.
Yep.
We talk about race an awful lot, though.
Talk about nice cars. Oh, Hollywood movie star.
Talk about anything. Anything in this
world.
Politics,
religion, and her.
And Sarah Kershaw.
Politics, religion, and that damn bitch. My extra verse.
The Sammy Kershaw director's cut.
That trifling woman.
Yeah, trifling is such a great word, man.
I just anymore. Just feels like when it comes to whether political party you feel you're aligned with, it's one and the same. And it's just do you like red or blue?
That's pretty much all it is. Absolutely, especially to be as blunt and crappy as I can be, especially with Biden as a candidate, because Biden is a more effective Republican politician than Trump is. So it really doesn't matter. As far as policy and the things that actually matter, it doesn't matter. None of it does, man. So it's like, whatever, dude. But I said a long time ago that my whole thing with 2016 was Ginsburg. And yes, you can go back and watch the old videos. We talked about it on here. I don't know why people thought Ruth Bader Ginsburg was expected to live forever. I don't know why everyone thought it was her goddamn mission in life to live forever. But you knew. The point was, and this is mean, I'm going to take Donald Trump out of the equation because it's just a Republican president. It's got nothing to do with him personally. It's just to do with Republicans picking the next two court appointees, because you had the one, and it's like, I don't think Ginsburg's going to make it 4 more years. So that would have been the second one. Turns out this will be the third one, because Kennedy, more of the same, where it's all like, you're going to pay me how much to retire? Okay, I don't like these robes anyway, so he couldn't get out the door fast enough, man. And again, that's not a Donald Trump thing. That would have been anybody, any Republican, because that's all congressional, court appointments. That's all. Mitch McConnell is a student of Kissinger and Nixon. His people love to get all bent out of shape. Oh, Richard Nixon, he was such a bad guy. Richard Nixon's a terrible guy. And he was. But as far as corrupt, we have power and we are going to turn it into oppressive power. He is a genius. The guy knows exactly what he's doing. So he started that stuff a long time. He was able to read maps and demographic maps in the country and tell you in the 70s, oh yeah, you can't get away from, we don't have a popular vote here, so that's okay. Won't be a problem. But what you have to do is go to marginalized states, which is to say southern states, and you have to convince everybody in the majority in the southern states that it's the minority members of the population. That's who's holding you back. That's who's keeping you down. Can you believe those black and brown people are doing this? Can you believe it? And that's how Republicans have voted in the South since Nixon, because it's all we care about. We don't talk about class. We talk about race. We don't talk about the fact that there ain't no damn money anywhere among any of us, regardless of what color you are, because what color you are is all we care about. Nixon was a smart guy. He knew what he was doing. This is Third Reich Tactics 101. And really, way before them, it's not like Hitler invented it. It's just that that's who we always go back to. But Nixon knew, man, it's like it does not matter. Nixon basically understood this. The economic minority always rules. Minority rule. Well, when we say minority, now what's the first thing you think of? You think of people that don't have white skin, because we have made that a racial term. In this case, what I mean by minority rule is an economic term, but once again, we don't talk about class. We can't do that.
Yeah.
The economic minority has always ruled. People that have money, they've always made the rules. That's not an America thing. That's since people first started like knocking out little like brass things and saying it's worth money. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. Nixon knew exactly what he was doing, and he's like, the way you keep the political minority in power forever is you take over the court and you jam and you jam and you jam and you jam, because those appointments are for life. He knew it. He built the shop, and Ronald Reagan perfected it. And then with Reagan passing it off, McConnell, I think McConnell is more like the right-wing Hillary Clinton, because it makes people mad. But people that think Hillary Clinton is losing sleep over not being president, I think are kidding themselves. I think they are kidding themselves. Yeah. Because Hillary, like Mitch McConnell, understands there's a whole lot more to be gained by not being the president. Because what happens once you're not president anymore? You're done. You're nullified. Yeah. Nobody cares. You're not going to do anything else. No one cares. But if I'm in the Senate forever, I can be loaded and rich, and people will come to me forever. That's Mitch. And Hillary would like to do that, but she's not quite there yet. Anyway, sorry, I got way sidetracked. But the point about Ginsburg is that now Ruth is gone. So we're going to replace Ruth on the court. And basically all it means, in my opinion, all it means is this. We will be discussing Roe versus Wade and the Second Amendment from now till for the rest of my life. That's it. We will never, ever. It's security that means Citizens United will stand forever, which means that corporations can give politicians unlimited money, which is why all the politicians want it. Not the Republicans, people who Republicans and Citizens United. It's all of them, baby. They all get bought off, so they're all in favor of that. Mm-hmm. The only difference between a Republican and a Democrat when it comes to Citizens United is if you're a Democrat and someone mentions it, you have to make that face. You have to make that face like you don't like it. You have to convince people that you're not in favor of it.
Well,
that's all that means, man. So that's literally the thing. Ruth Bader Ginsburg passes away. It's so weird about, well, Trump better not fill that seat. He better not do it.
I don't care.
I don't care if Joe Biden beats him by 8 million votes. In the lame duck session, they're going to approve that judge. It's more of the same about, we talk about checks and balances and co-equal branches of government. Well, apparently not, because what the hell are the House up to? What have the House gotten done? The answer is nothing. But when it comes to judgeships for appointments on the Supreme Court, that's all the Senate, baby. That's the Senate, the one that McConnell runs. So yes, they are going to take the vote, and yes, they are going to put that whatever her name is, on the court. Now, all of you sitting around thinking, oh, she's Catholic, she's going to overturn Roe. Well, I got bad news for you, because part of that is twofold. One, you're not going to do anything that takes money out of pharmaceutical pockets. You won't do it. You might want to. You might want to real bad, but the whole thing about, well, Jesus told me I had to overturn Roe. Well, I'll tell you what, in real short order, you'll get to go talk to him face to face on that one because you will disappear. That's one. And two, this is the other thing. This is the best example, in my opinion, of Republicans playing the Democrats' game. The Democrat game, in my opinion, is constantly talking about this and this and this. Oh my God, we've got to change these and those and that. Yeah, but once you do it, you can't run on it anymore. Mm-hmm. Same thing. If you struck down Roe tomorrow, you couldn't beg everybody to go out and vote for you. So you're not going to get rid of that because there are people in this country enough to swing an electoral college vote anyway that, man, all you got to say is we're going to strike down Roe, and they'll run to the polls to vote for you, even though you've shown them decade after decade that you have no interest in doing that. I don't know why I'm talking so much politics, man, because that's the positive thing. I guess the point I was trying to get to was Ginsburg was all I cared about last time. So the court was kind of screwed up anyway, because no offense to Ruth or anything, but as far as social issues, hell, man, how did we get where we are? She's been on the court for a long damn time, so she didn't care about that stuff either, man. Anyway, it's just that the distraction now, you get to hear about Roe forever and ever and ever, because she didn't like Roe versus Wade. I know she didn't, but if you're trying to pretend that she's the reason it's still in place, you're wrong. The Democratic appointees have been a minority on the court for a long, long time. And that's to my point. If the Republicans wanted to strike that shit down, they'd have done it already. The ACA is going nowhere. That was Republican legislation, like it or not. You can call it Obamacare and pat him on the ass as many times as you want to. It's Republican legislation. Anything that says, okay, the insurance sector is now mandatory. Now you have to pay these people. Yeah, that's Republicanism, Davey. It's really not. It's really not. That's not fair. That's DC. That's the way politics work in this country because we suck. Anyway, the point being that I'm going to the polls to vote for Joe Biden. God help me, because he's useless as shit. But it's more to the point of like, but you can't let Trump win again. And it's like, yep, you guys won. You guys won for 2020, because that was the entire point of you. And by you, I mean the Democratic establishment and DC as we know it. You put this repugnant piece of trash in the White House to make all of us think, oh my God, it can't get worse. We can't let it happen again. So I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. But when I tell you, and this is my decree on YouTube, it's the last time I'll vote for anything. I'm done after this because, and really, it really is a personal thing with me because my deal with Donald Trump is not president.
Hold your nose and vote.
My problem with Donald Trump is not President Donald Trump. I've hated that cocksucker my entire life. My entire life. He is everything that is wrong with capitalism in this country, because that piece of shit has never earned a dime in his life. He is living off of daddy's money and the fact that all of his older siblings actually had to go out and do something to be worthwhile. Most particularly, his federal judge of a sister who basically rewrote the tax code and said, yeah, we can rip the people off. What do you mean? Whatever do you mean? That we, you know what I'm saying? That was her job. She was a federal judge. What the fuck have you ever done? Oh, I was a host of a show on NBC. Oh, are you sure you want to claim that now? Yeah. Copy Microsoft NBC News that hates you so much but secretly loves you passionately. Yeah. If you listen to MSNBC with that angle in your head, it's the most entertaining programming on earth. It's them trying to make you think they hate him, but secretly waving the little rally flag. Because Fox couldn't do that. Fox couldn't come out and tell you to go vote for Barack Obama, but when he was reelected, the windfall was glorious for them. MSNBC's not quite as good at covering up for it, because they know 4 more years of Trump will make, they have been so astronomically successful because of all the people hate watching MSNBC. They would love 4 more years of that. Yeah. Oh God, I'll give it to us, Sweet Donnie. Sweet Donnie.
We might spend this into something that we could, profit off of.
Dude, seriously, like, hey man, we have made more money off this guy being president. We're not ready to say no. We're not ready to turn it off.
I can't quit.
I cannot quit you. That's MSNBC to Donald Trump. They have their Brokeback Mountain moment.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
I don't know what else is going on, man.
Not a whole lot, not a whole lot going down.
There was sports today, and there was a takeover tonight, but I didn't watch it. So,
Man, totally slipped my mind. I didn't even think about it.
I'm with you. I can't keep up, man. I really am very, very horrible at keeping my. Oh, Wednesday that I'll watch stuff
Oh
on
wow!
which FTR and SCU, of course, that's all I tuned in for.
Yeah,
And hey, man, it's FTR and SCU. It was pretty damn good. Those guys,
Yep.
they can't miss, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like that Tully's holding on to the leg to prevent the kick out. It's like we talked about, man. Whenever they come out and cut their thing about, we know what the rules of tag team wrestling are. You guys are in and out and you don't pay attention to the rules. We know the rules. And it's like the whole reason you come out like waving your flag about the rules is so now you can do the heel thing and cheat again. And it's great. So, well, Tully was holding that guy's leg. Totally. And the only reason we care, everybody breaks rules all the time. The only reason we care is because they kept, well, they said they weren't going to do that. It's great. It's so good, man.
That's the only reason they do it.
It's so good. It's like when Bill Watts came in to take over WCW. And it was like, yeah, you can't come off the top rope anymore. Well, Bill Watts said guys couldn't come off the top rope. That's just going to ruin the show. That's just stupid. No, it makes it special now. It's because it's against the rules. You really think that means you're never going to see it? Get the hell out of here, man. No, it just means that the guys get to cheat now. And you be like, oh, you son of a bitch. Whenever they do it. Dude, Bill was a smart cat, man. He knew what he was doing. And that's basically I thought that was the Revival doing that same. Anyway, that's a lot of stuff. But anymore, that's all I can really discuss with wrestling because that's all I watch, man. I tape AEW and watch it on Thursday so I can just fast forward everything and watch those guys. And there's plenty of people in that company I like, but there's nobody I like as much as I like those dudes, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
and
man.
Anything they show up on, at least gotta be sure to check that out.
Man,
slow down for that one.
I'm the same way, man. It's all it is. This is good, man. But yeah, like it's kind of, I think I mentioned this to you before, but the NFL has officially replaced college football. I was trying to watch college football yesterday. I didn't care. I couldn't get into it because I saw like none of this means any damn thing. Yeah. So why do I care? Yeah. Then you watch the NFL, and literally anytime they put wins and losses up, all the math matters. It's cool. It all means something. I think it's fascinating that Seattle is very quietly 4-0. It's interesting that we can keep that quiet, but good for them, good for Russell. I'm a little bit bummed, and I know why they do it. And honestly, excuse me, it's probably been this way for a long time. I just didn't notice because I wasn't watching so much on Sundays. But this obsession with the local media running Tampa and New Orleans and Carolina, and it's probably been that way forever because that's our division, so I get it. But it's like, I do not need to see Tampa Bay every week. I don't need to see New Orleans ever. I mean, y'all got it. You got to give me somebody else to watch, man. This sucks, dude. I don't need this junk, man.
Oh, it's a lot worse now as far as Tampa's all you're gonna see.
Oh, Tom is all we're gonna get. It's like whatever, man. But it could be worse. They could.
My Tommy.
Oh, Tommy! Oh God, Tommy! They could be worse. They could have run that Dallas-Cleveland game, which the Dallas-Cleveland game was hilarious because Cleveland went out and got 42 points. And I'm only picking on the guy because I hate him. But Baker Mayfield passed for about 165 yards today. 49 points, 165 passing yards, and it's all you hear about. And I'm like, take Odell Beckham out of the equation because Odell had 3 carries for 76 yards, but he had 50 on one of them. So let's take him out of the equation. Look at everybody else in that backfield. As a team, they averaged about 6 yards a carry today. But I got to hear about Baker Mayfield. And it only ticks me off because Lamar Jackson, league MVP Lamar Jackson, Lamar's going to have to show that he can stay in the pocket and beat people with his arm, throwing the ball upfield. Why do I hear that endlessly about Lamar Jackson, but Baker Mayfield passes for 165 yards? And, oh, he's back. The Browns are back. Baker's in control. Get the fuck out of here, man. That stuff drives me nuts. So if Baker Mayfield was a black kid and made those eat shit faces like he does, he would be public enemy number 1. And you can prove, that's proof right there. Lamar Jackson won the MVP. Or we're going to have to see if he can win with the We're going to have to see if he can get it done in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Getting it done in the playoffs with his arm comes against Kansas City. Kansas City's pretty damn good right now. So it's like,
Yep.
y'all got to stop. It's more of that same stuff, just drives me nuts, man. I have seen more black kids at the quarterback position written off over and over again. But Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel will still get the benefit of the doubt. You still have Tim Tebow defenders.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, you've got to be kidding me, man. This is crap. It's crap. Stop talking to me about, well, the resurgence of the Browns is all about Baker Mayfield. It is not. It's not. They put money into the offensive line. They got good running backs, and they run the ball all the time just like they should. But we saw this last year with Baltimore, and there was criticism every single week, no matter how they won, no matter how much they won by. When's he going to get it done with his arm? If you ever hear that criticism of Baker Mayfield, please send me the clip because I would love to hear it because I ain't heard it yet. And it's just ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous. I think crap like that is just completely unfair. And I know what the point is. The point is Baker Mayfield's a white gunslinger. He's like John Wayne, which basically means he's marketable. That's what you mean. That's what it's always meant. Because like we talk about, man, race in this country is a hell of a lot more about marketability than it is anything else. Race is useful in this country because if we talk about how we're not the same color, well, that distracts us from the fact that economically we're exactly the same. And as far as quarterbacks and shit like that, well, Baker Mayfield sold more jerseys than Lamar Jackson. That's all it's about. That's all they care about. And it sucks. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, man.
Is that bowl mash?
Baker's useless. He's such a useless piece of shit. I hate that guy. Something about Browns quarterbacks, man, and the Manziel both, which surely to God Baker's better than me. I don't know. Honestly, I haven't seen either one of them play enough to know which one. Well, I guess just from college, Baker would have to be better because Manziel was a complete fucking joke. There was no such thing as holding at Texas A&M for his senior year, and they still his Heisman year, and they still lost 4 games. I'm like, dude, if you tell the offensive line they can hold, you shouldn't. If you have 4 quarters where you give up points, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. Much less losing 4 games. What the heck, man?
Yeah.
Bull mess.
I still can't help but turn on my college football. So I turned on the game last night, and I wasn't shocked, but at the same time I was, because I knew there were going to be fans at the game in Athens. I did not realize how many they were going to let in there. Everything I've heard is apparently the university is going to be in all kind of trouble, just because not only is there it it wasn't a regular crowd, but there was a lot more there than I think anybody was expecting to see. Not a mask in sight. The only masks were on the field, and with the refs and a face mask.
Yeah,
That was about it.
Just doing this bullshit right here, which it's like.
Yeah.
I appreciate you have to put it on for TV, but hey, man, have fun writing that check to the NCAA because they're going to fine you for that. I know it sucks. I know you don't like it, but the NCAA is going to fine you, and because it's all politics anyway, so fuck them. But the UGA thing, I don't understand because that's on the same article. The University of Georgia's going to come under fire for how many people were in that stadium, and it's like, okay, so we're here in Georgia. Next state over, there's a place called Tuscaloosa, and they had a game yesterday. They played against Texas A&M, and I guarantee you, there were more goddamn people in Bryant-Denny than there were at Sanford Stadium, and there were a lot of people at the Georgia game. But it's like, dude, you look at the clusters, it's like, okay, why are we hearing about this from Athens but not Tuscaloosa? Oh, that's right. Because St. Nicholas. Yeah, St. Nicholas coaches at Alabama, and God forbid you say anything, but it's like, no, this is ridiculous, y'all. Well, different states have different rules. You do realize where Georgia and Alabama sit on the map, don't you? I promise you, they have equally lax rules. It's not a problem, man. So that drove me nuts. I'm like, that's what y'all want to talk about is how many people were in Sanford Stadium. As I'm telling you, Bryant-Denny looked a hell of a lot worse if this is what we're talking about.
Yeah. So it's it was one of those kind of things. And my other thing too is I don't know why, but I just kind of hoped that they would wear the 40th anniversary jerseys all year and they went back to the standard gear, and I was like, oh.
I kind of wish they had done the 40th anniversary jerseys all year too, and here's why. This is stupid, but if you've watched the show before, you know I'm obsessed with gear. I love uniforms. I like gear. I'm into that stuff.
Yeah.
MLS is really letting me down because, honest to God, I know I've mentioned it before, but every team's away uniform is all white. It's boring. It's boring as hell watching all black versus all white. I get tired of that in college football too, is everybody's got to have an all-white uniform and an all-gray uniform and an all-black uniform, and it's like, dude, I like gray. I like black. But, man, just put the team color on there somewhere, for the love of God, just somewhere.
Yeah.
The University of Georgia has interesting gear. Their colors are great. Georgia's colors are unbelievable, and the silver breeches are quite neat. But I'm really weird about white face mask. Some schools can pull it off, some can't, and Georgia can't. Gray looks a lot better. Look at anything from the 60s, and you'll see that I'm right. But this is the stupidest thing. Georgia's uniforms, the freaking letter font the number font makes me insane. It just looks like crap. And I'm like, dude, go to the big old school blocky numbers. Yeah. But for the love of God, it's 2020. Wear the Herschel Walker specials with the white shoes, for the love of God. That's the other thing about their uniforms, man, is the black socks are great. I love the black socks. But, man, you take Georgia's uniform, put white shoes on it, it's untouchable. They look fantastic. Fantastic. But, yeah, last week when they did the Arkansas game with the red pants, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's the Herschel Walker specials. And it turned out they were. And it's like, now that's a good idea. I wish you'd done that. I had the same thing when they come out in the black socks and the jacked up numbers. I'm like, damn. My thing with the funky numbers is this. If you want a weird font for your numbers on your jersey, okay, you already copied Green Bay's helmet for the NFL, so why don't you copy another NFL jersey for it, dude? The Pittsburgh Steelers have always had a very unique font for their numbers. Use that. Heinz Ward tribute. That'd be awesome. That would work, man. But I'm with you. I was hoping they would do the anniversary stuff because they just look cooler. They just look cooler.
I mean, we saw the road version. I wanted to see the home version.
Yeah, for real.
So I was like, well, what are they just doing it on the road? What's going on? So
Arkansas got to see the cool anniversary uniforms. What's wrong with the home people? What's wrong with the home folks?
I just didn't know what was up with that. Like, what?
You hooked them up too, jerks.
I mean, why?
Crying.
Right.
That's what I was doing after I saw the uniforms.
Oh, man. That's my other funny thing I love from the pandemic special. It has nothing to do with anything. This, I was complaining about the uniforms, from my couch. I just, the little teachers the police officers that are now the teachers just came and said, all right, shut up.
Yeah, for real.
All right, kids, shut up.
I need people to tell me that when I start whining about uniforms, man, because I do get funky about them. But on the subject of uniforms, holy crap. Have you seen the Atlanta Hawks 2021, not 2021, sorry, 20/21 City Edition uniforms?
No.
Oh, man, I got this email today, and I'm very happy about this. I'm proud of this because this is where we live. This is where we're from. We're not Atlanta kids. We never have been, but we grew up 30 miles from there. It's our city. That's home. It's home. Yeah. They have decided to embrace something on the City Edition uniform this year that nobody else gets to. And with my conspiracy theory about how the national sports media hates Atlanta right now, and I'll get to that in a second, this one's kind of funny because it's going to be real cute to watch you try and get around talking about these. Okay, remember a few years back when this was during the Navy, I'm sorry, I'm going to shake the table, the Navy and white era, like the 60-win team. And they were both red jerseys every now and again, they say ATL on them. And now the jersey's just saying ATL has become such a thing that the Falcons ripped it off. Remember that?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Think about those, but think about a few years ago when we had the black and gold city uniforms, because those are the colors, it's black and gold. But now the jersey, instead of saying ATL, it says MLK. And I'm like, brother, have fun trying to knock that one down. Have fun trying to talk junk about that one. Have fun trying to ignore that. Because I'm convinced that all Atlanta sports teams right now are living in this purgatory because Arthur Blank has basically brought a sporting event to this city and to this country that is going to BREAK their asses. It's coming. It's a coming, man. The 2026 World Cup, ABC, Mickey Mouse, ESPN, none of them want to pay what it's going to cost to run those games in 2026. And it's why Arthur is getting gutted over and over and over again. And he couldn't give less of a shit. It's why Arthur's so cool.
Yeah.
Because, see, they messed up. What happened was you had a bunch of guys who wanted to play gangster, and they let an actual businessman in the fold, and it's like, uh-oh. Because that guy knows how to play the game. So what happens? When you're not concerned about your name ringing out and everybody knowing that you're the man, oh, you can get a whole lot done. You can get a whole lot of nasty, nasty things done. So all the Atlanta teams being bad right now and them talking crap and giving us a bunch of shit and all that, 2026, it's a coming. Because not only is the World Cup going to be in this part of the world, not only will that Atlanta stadium have probably the semifinal, but all you got to do if you follow soccer in this country is just do the math, man. Do the math on Pulisic and Reyna. And I don't remember the kid's name because I'm stupid, but the kid that just signed with Barcelona. Barcelona just signed like a 17-year-old American kid. And it's like, okay, all right then. Well, you might want to keep your eyes on this. And the only reason it's a big deal is because having the World Cup in America, you're going to have to pay through the nose to get those rights. But the fact that the national team of the United States is probably going to be pretty damn good in 2026, they will absolutely. Mickey Mouse ain't never wrote a check this big, and it pisses him off. So they're already whining about it. That's what's going on right now, in case you wanted to know. That's what's going on. And that being the case, I just think it's real, real cute and all of the, well, we're talking about social issues. We're a corporate entity, but we care about social issues. Talk shit about an MLK jersey because I know you want to. I just can't wait to see you try to.
Yeah,
It'll be hilarious. They do look cool as hell. They look awesome because again, the black and gold stuff from a couple of years ago looked great. And it's not those jerseys with new letters on them, but it's the same idea and it's the same color scheme. Man, they look sick, man. Read Hawks news earlier today, man, that it was just this hypothetical article about okay, there's possible trade destinations for this guy or that guy or la-di-da, and I came across one that said 5 possible destinations for Karl Anthony Towns, and I thought, well, Atlanta's got to be in there. It turns out Atlanta was number 1. And I'm like, all right, we'll see about it. Now, the article was talking about, well, yeah, we like Trae Young and John Collins, but will you get rid of John Collins and the number 6 pick and DeAndre Hunter? I'm like, look, I like Karl Anthony Towns too, but I ain't giving that much away for anybody. That's a huge mistake. I don't know. I'm with you. I'm like, no,
that's expensive.
I love Carl. I love the guy. You only start talking that shit if you think it's the exclamation point that gets you over the championship line, and he wouldn't be. I love Carl, but he's not that. So I think breaking up Trae and Collins is a bad idea. But I'm here to tell you something right now. The 6th pick, we'll see if we can turn it into somebody. That's fine. The 6th pick and John Collins. It pains me to say it. I don't even know if I would do that. But if they did that, it wouldn't bother me quite so much. But DeAndre Hunter, you're out of your mind if you get rid of that guy. No. You don't trade that guy. That would be like trading Kawhi Leonard his 2nd year in San Antonio and then expecting nobody to make fun of you when he turns into Kawhi Leonard. They're going to make fun of you.
Dummy.
What I do. Oh, no, what I do.
I'm new. I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. I'm trying to be the GM. I was ever the GM for an NBA team. I would just do the Joe Dirt impression all the time. I'm new. I don't know what to do. That'd be awesome.
Help. Somebody help.
Millhouse. Help.
Heck yeah, man. That's what's going down.
Dude, I didn't do anything this week, man. I played World of Warcraft because I was telling the man I very much appreciate how not to be hyperbolic, but I appreciate how dangerously addictive that game is. I mean, it is. It didn't take me long at all to become absolutely obsessed with it. And so I did that, and then I watched sports this weekend. Watched the finals tonight. Jimmy Butler went crazy. Had an unbelievable game, unreal game, and it's cool because well, it's cool for a couple of reasons. One, it makes the series more interesting, but also it buys Bam a little more time, so maybe Bam can get back out there. And for a couple of reasons. One, Adebayo being out there makes the series better, but two, hey man, they'll still bring it up. The excuses if the Lakers win, we already know what they are. We've heard them all numerous times. All that's fine, but I like Bam and I like watching him play, and it makes the series better if he's out there.
Yeah.
Pardon me. So, sorry, this buys him more time, and hopefully he can get back out there. But it was quite good. It was a good game, but seriously, Butler went crazy. Butler had like a 40-point triple-double tonight, man. He went crazy, and that's awesome. And I like that dude. So go on, man, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I like
that's
that
good.
dude. But for real, I haven't done anything, man. I was gonna watch football, and I didn't really watch anything today. And watched anything yesterday. Then I tried, man. I was all excited about college ball, and I was like, man, none of these games. Man, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get into this? And then I realized it's because the league is 170 teams, and it's like. Has 170 teams, but only 8 of them have a chance of even going to the next round. So why bother? That's why the NFL is more fun. It's the math of it is what turned me around to make me a pro fan. Is like, at least it's based on wins and losses. Yeah. That's it. And that's Skip Bayless's whole thing about the finals. The Clippers would have beat the Lakers. Okay, so you do want a BCS in the NBA? Because, you probably do that, except that you can't do that. Because like you and I talked about many times before, all you need to know about the college football playoff and the BCS before it is no one else has ever adopted that system. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Do you think that baseball wouldn't love to have the Yankees and the Red Sox? That's something else we can talk about is how about them Bravos not only sweeping the Reds, but giving up not one run.
Yeah.
Not one. They went out there and stomped, didn't they? It was great.
And that first game was nerve-wracking, but it was still fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was just like, I'll have fingernails left.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Christ.
Oh,
God.
Oh, God. It was nerve-wracking. I threw up a couple of times, but we won.
Yep. And, just going into that whole series is something about playing the Reds. I was just like, oh, no. I don't know if this is going to go too well. And then now we got, I think it's starting Tuesday or Wednesday, the Marlins, and we played them pretty good this year. So now that'll be the series that'll get flipped on its ear. It's like crap.
I like the fact that we're playing the Marlins. I like the fact in the game I was watching the other day, which was them eliminating the sorry-ass Michael Wilbon's sorry-ass Chicago Cubs, by the way. And I'm saying it that way because that piece of shit will never talk about it on his little program, so I'll talk about it here. Fuck Mike Wilbon. Fuck the Cubs, man. Go on, Marlins. But the thing that I like about it is Don Mattingly as a manager he has caught nothing but shit and ridicule, and that's it. So I love the fact that Donnie Baseball leaves L.A., goes to Miami. Oh, my God, the Marlins. What's he do? He's because the Marlins. Oh, my God. Well, look at them now. And, of course, I hope we beat the crap out of them. But it's the same thing where all the Marlins jokes were Marlins jokes up until Jeter became the guy. Then the Marlins jokes became just the volume was so much louder. Oh, my God, Jeter. He might have a pretty girlfriend, but he's terrible at running a baseball team. Forget the fact that Jeffrey Lurie had made them the laughingstock, maybe of American sports.
Close.
In my opinion, the laughingstock of American sports is the Knicks. I think that's the most disastrously run organization in all of sports. Because at least with the Marlins, it's not revenue sharing in baseball. There's still a component of capitalism to it where, well, if you've got it, you can spend it. If you don't, you can't. So Lurie is a complete piece of shit, but it's a little different than in basketball where there's revenue sharing and you have the biggest media market in the history of mankind behind you. You have the New York Knicks and you run them like trash. No. That's all you. But the Marlins are close.
Yeah.
So I love Jeter taking it over and immediately throwing all of their high-priced talent as far away as he could get them. And look at them now. Good for those guys, man. It's like, oh, we're going. I hope we beat you, but man, good for them because they were a punchline 18 months ago, and now they're in the division series. It's like, well, go on. All right, y'all.
It was just 3 or 4 weeks ago, and people were just like, man, I don't know if this team's going to be around much longer.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, man. It's like, okay, whatever, y'all. Because, I mean, professional baseball leaving Florida doesn't bother me because Florida doesn't care about pro baseball. Because the problem with Florida and pro baseball, pardon me, is called spring training. They get right up next to it for $8 a game. It's like, we're not going out and spending all this money on personal seat licenses. We're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. But Tampa's got to go first, don't they?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's interesting, though. We got Braves, Marlins. We got Yankees, Rays. We have got, I can't believe I don't remember. It's Oakland and gosh, who's the other one? I can't believe I forgot who the teams are, man. But basically, the Central Divisions both just got thrown in the toilet. I don't think any of them made it. I don't know about San Diego and St. Louis. I'm not sure who won that series.
The Dodgers are still in. I don't know who they're playing.
The Dodgers are going to play either the, you know what? I'm sure it's been decided by now. It's going to be the Cardinals or the Padres. But at the same time, it might have been today. And God forbid you schedule against the God Almighty NFL, so that wouldn't happen. Come on, phone. There you go, baby. Let's see. Let's type in the San Diego Padres. Okay, so the Padres won. Friday, man, I missed it. They won 4-0 on Friday. So it's Dodgers, Padres, Braves, Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
All good. That's cool, man. And I'm sure we've discussed it before, but I just want to be real clear because, like we mentioned earlier, I am a psychopath when it comes to sports uniforms. Dude, I know people think it's funny because, oh my God, they're wearing brown and yellow. Have you seen the Padres' new gear? Oh my God, they look awesome. They look awesome, dude. It's like Nike killed that mess, dude. Like, oh my Lord, those are cool.
I pretty much all the California teams are looking pretty tight because I've never not liked the Athletics, but just going back to that different shade of green, it's like, man, that looks even better than what they already had.
It's straight. I'm with you. When we were kids, I liked it, but yeah, when they start darkening up the green, it's like, It's a good point though about California baseball. Period. They all look good. The Angels are cool. The Dodgers are cool. The Giants always had okay uniforms, but dude, once they moved the new stadium and they've got what they got now, they all look great. Which I think everybody in baseball looks pretty good. I'm not wild about the Marlins stuff, but I understand. I really like the funky, crazy orange stuff. But that's the Hurricanes. So basically, it seems to me the Heat came up with that funky, awesome Miami Vice uniform, and Jeter's like, that. We want that. So the Marlins went with that. And it's like, all right, okay, that's cool, man.
That's been kind of their MO. Is like, we're all going to keep not only a color scheme, but a design for about 3 or 4 seasons.
For real, man.
It'll change soon.
Yeah, but as far as professional sports in Miami are concerned, weird colors have always been the order of the day, except for the Heat. That's more traditional because it's red and black. But dude, the Dolphins. I was thinking about that. Like, I can't imagine what people thought when the Dolphins uniforms debuted when they did. They've had those forever, and it's like the modern stuff is awful. But whenever Nike does like the throwback, like 73 style, holy smokes, they look cool. the black shoes and the gray face mask, it sounds stupid, but they look great. They look so cool, man.
That guy on the NFL films in the stands at the Marlins, just like directing like,
seriously. Oh God.
I have to sit through Bruno Mars at the halftime show.
I can't do it, people.
Oh God. That was gross.
Oh man.
But
oh God.
but If he only knew how much worse it was going to get. This is going to look classy one day.
Just like, one of these days you'll love this. You belong for this.
It's gonna look great.
On the subject, this is really stupid, but on the subject of switching the color scheme from the orange to what they wear now, I wonder if that jackass that became Marlins man wasn't part. I'd have changed the uniforms in as soon as they became associated with that jackass. I'd have changed them too. That guy was such. Oh God, what a turd he is. He was such a prick. I'm gonna buy all these tickets and I wear Marlins shirts because I'm Marlins man.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, if you've got money and you can buy those tickets, good for you. And you want to be a celebrity, so you do the WWE thing like the Mets guy and stuff like that. That's fine. But I don't know. What was it? He made some huge, big stink statement a couple of years ago when Jeter took the team over. Now, I don't want to be Marlins man anymore. It's like, cool, bye. I don't know. I don't remember what that was, but he made. Yeah, it's like, dude, your celebrity is based on this. You prick. It's like, stop, man. Your celebrity is basically you have enough money to buy these insane tickets. You wear that god awful jersey, and you're always on your fucking phone. Like, am I on TV? Do you see me? You can see me, right? You can see me. That's you. That's what you did. So it's like, okay, well, if that's what you want to be, that's cool. But then trying to parlay that into something more meaningful, that guy was such a dick. Oh my God, man. Stop it. Just stop.
Heck yeah, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, I've got nothing to bring to the show this week, man. But it was fun. We talked for an hour, so it's cool.
Talk that bull mess.
That's what
I'm about. That's what's up, y'all.
Have a good one, y'all. Thank you for watching.
Heck yeah. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.